Piranhas can be removed in a short time. A creature with not too much flesh. The style of the painting is very different from that of other freshwater fish. Most freshwater fish either have no teeth or pitifully small. Piranhas, however, have a mouthful of deep fangs. From a taxonomic perspective, they belong to the order Lepidoptera. Both centrifugal objects and those we commonly use have a common principle. What exactly is the difference? Among freshwater fish worldwide, the largest group is the ear tag family. What's inside them? There is an institution known as the DR tail department, with a set of small bones. Connect the auditory system to the fish buoy. Use a fish float as a pin holder. Greatly improved. Perception in freshwater with low visibility, marked at the end of the Jurassic period. Depending on the completely split Pangaea continent above. About 150 million years ago, the ancestors of the earmark lineage diverged into two branches. Pear-shaped wood from the north and Gili wood from the south. Not long after, with the splitting and drifting of the northern and southern continents, the two branches were separated by the ocean on either side. They went their separate ways of evolution. Against this backdrop, the ear tag system has become divided between the north and south. The northern species are known as the Apomorpha order, which is the mainstream species in China. Chilean headquarters on the southern Gondwana Road. In Belarus, they were divided into three major groups. Did Messi happen? Water and land comrades human shield. The tomb of Nianqing and the tomb of our protagonist, Zili. In terms of ecological niche, it can be considered dead. Southern flat-shaped tomb. However, there are many differences between stopping and leaving. The order Hatchetfish does not have teeth, and most of the fragments have teeth. Many terriers are also known for their well-developed teeth. In addition to the chess pieces on Zili's back, there is also a small chess piece whose process is not determined by its own will. He was called the chess player who stopped the game. 130 million years ago. Tyrannosaurus rex will not appear for another 70 million years. The earliest birds took to the skies. It was only news from 2,000 yuan ago. At that time, just like removing many fish at the same time, just a minor player in the ecosystem. Brazil 115 million years ago. It is the earliest and most primitive pair known to humankind. The place where Diaz Santana seed pairs live. This small fish is only 3 centimeters long. It is also the earliest known earmarked fish. Nowadays, purple pears are all freshwater fish. Almost all fish with ear tags are freshwater fish. But the Santana purple pear lives in the sea. Such a unique way of origin. Let the purple pear wood from the beginning. It took on a touch of legend. Because of the birth of Gili, Gawa Naguru Shangyan completely split. About 100 million years ago, with the separation of South America and Africa. The vast Atlantic Ocean cut off the land-to-water communication between freshwater and other waterways. Gili on 2 landmasses. Just like Rova, they embarked on different journeys. On these 2 continents that are gradually moving away from each other. Chile did not accept its fate. They are still spreading outwards. If we can't go to Antarctica in the south, then let's launch a northern expedition. Many seats pointed out. Just like the word Santana. In some early words, it may be able to adapt to a certain level of strictness. Therefore, it can make short-distance migrations in the ocean. Swim from one landmass to another. South America. 8,000 years ago, they crossed the island chain between North America and the mainland. In present-day Texas, the earliest traces of the North American trip remain. Around 70 million years ago, another management position, crossing Coticiang from North Africa, became one of the first to enter Europe for governance. The goal of governance is based on the African continent. It became the Qin ruler's submonitory position. This tube of white ears differentiated into the sciences of Qin and the 2 branches of the science of abdominal teeth. The former is a minor subject. There are only 3 or 8 kinds. All of them are silvery, laterally compressed fish. Body length between 50-84 cm. Very similar to a flatfish. The structure of the abdominal teeth is also known as the structure of the bifid teeth. They got their name from having 2 rows of teeth. It is a very prosperous group. It includes more than 100 species, diverse in form and habit. They don't seem to be from the same department at all, although this type is the largest Nile abdominal tooth. The intelligence level can grow to 83 centimeters. But what about most of the gifts from Fuji? All are smaller than the product name. The newly pure village in the short wall is only 3 or 4 centimeters long. The youngest boss, Shinchan no Sato. It can only grow to 16 centimeters. Another type of drama. A typical small father-son trip. It's one of the best in Xinchengzi. He likes to drown in the hanging pavilion of the aquatic plant shop. And among the dwarfs, these are bottom-dwelling fish similar to blind goby, swimming in strings at the bottom of the water. If there's nothing to do on weekdays, they lay down in the water to rest. Father and son from science. The most specialized implementation is none other than Shinjiro and his close relatives. To what extent did they specialize? They survive by stealing the fins of other fish. I only eat shark fin. The other fish are so badly damaged that they can only hold one hand. South America, across the Atlantic. The incredibly prosperous fragmented yamu. Dominant. Both 24 and 22 of the phylum Plasmodium belong to the subphylum Plasmodium. Throughout the tropical and subtropical regions of South America, the importance of fragmented yamu is unparalleled. In a river or a lake, the fish in the largest tree are all from Gili. It can be said that they are far ahead. Since it's about Gili, there's no way to avoid it. Of course, it belongs to the Gili family. What about the management department? It is the 4th largest family of fish in the world, including at least 1,172 species. Second only to science, magnetfish family and goby family. Because of the view from Neon Town, the striped tweed on his body was caused by neon tubes. Other smaller ones are not called shaped lights. Fish dam management, half-county governance, and straight-line governance. These are the 3 most diverse genera and subgenuses in the sciences. New levels are endless. Global water city market. These 3 dead governance. They occupy half of the tetra population. The governance department has an exceptionally high degree of decisiveness. However, the design is still rather conservative. The main change was in physical testing behavior. In short, it's about modifying textures, adjusting AI, and setting values. The South American tetra is completely transparent. The shape of the mark is like the style of time. Penguin fish number of fish. Long distance 45-degree upward tilt swimming. From a distance, they look like a flock of penguins. The female characters in Paraguayan operas are quite unique. Like the nobleman in the jar, he followed the custom of eating fish scales. For a full meal, he would not hesitate to ambush fish much larger than himself. This place in Mexico is entirely pink. The color-specialized underground populations are busy with what are known as. But what about them at the same time? Surface taxa with normal appearance. Surface and subsurface populations in Mexico. Not recent news. They are clearly capable of transforming into one another. Among all types of caves, they are all very special. Around 2010, the original Gili department was split up. Several more distinctive subfamilies diverged into their own groups. Slender. The science of westward travel became the science of westward travel. The 10 supporters of the School of Reason, as the science major of the 10 assistants. The representative of these is the 10 auxiliary principles and numbers. The Obayashi subfamily, which was incorporated into the Torai family in its early years. Come back. And to become an independent science. Of course, there's also the huge investment in Liaco. This is the biggest loss for the family's science and technology department during this separation. The huge investment in science is now the huge investment in science. He is also the piranha we all know. The governance of Tundian is a matter of great importance. The governance of the lower part belongs to the governance of the history and the governance of the support, collectively known as piranhas. The most well-known of them is the red-bellied piranha. That is the principle of stockpiling points. They are ferocious carnivorous fish. They will form an underwater red wolf pack, extremely for blood, sensitive at the same time. They can bite through resin with a satisfying crunch. It can also cut through Kevlar fibers with its sharp teeth. Perfect for cut cake. Fresh meat in the stockpile. Able to gnaw the Jade Emperor's corpse down to its skeleton in an instant. There is a legend that, what happens if a large animal falls into the river? It will be eaten away by dead fish until it's just a skeleton. Many horror movies were born. Actually, the dead mermaid isn't that strong in combat. They are good at eating small fish, or an injured or weakened individual, equivalent to a more ferocious rescue. Look, even Jay Cho, a perfectly healthy person, is fine taking a bath. They acted vehemently. Besides being convenient to eat meat, or it's to protect oneself. Once alone, she becomes incredibly timid. Caiman, easily sanctioned by sawing towers, etc. As for the silver flounder, it's not necessary to completely abstain from meat. They also eat small fish, but their diet is mainly plant-based. Lots of silverfish. They all have teeth similar to those of humans, able to chew repeatedly, crushing and hardening. However, sometimes they bite randomly. No matter what it is, it looks plausible. He stuffed it into his mouth. So, in this department of short calcium fertilizers, it has a rather quirky nickname, egg-cut fish. The gathering is engraved in the fish. Moderate body size. High yield, whether it's stonefish or silverfish. These are all important economic fish species in their place of origin. In my country, short calcium fertilizer has also been introduced into aquaculture, and he was given the common name plain water soup. Actually, the texture of freshwater white pomfret meat. Far inferior to Characiformes. It doesn't taste good. Not only is the acceptance rate quite limited, in some waterways in the south, he even formed an invasion. By the way, did you notice? Freshwater white chong. It looks quite similar to the red Fuji sashimi. This is a form of mimicry. Young Danshui by Chong. This allows them to blend into a group of piranhas, seeking asylum. Pencilfish and splashfish also live in South America. Together they form the short-mouthed support shell. The mouths of the pencilfish are very small. They can only eat tiny foods, habitually hovering in the water, swinging its pectoral fins at high speed. Named for keeping the body still. Splashing fish. This is a general term for other short-snouted shellfish. They because of the name Kiko pair comes from its unique dietary restrictions. During breeding, pairs of Schizon pairs will stay together. Leap out of the water. Jiangnan breathes on the leaves outside the water. Then the male fish chase the pond fish away, left behind to do things haphazardly. Fish eggs can stay away from aquatic predators while outside the water. However, they face the threat of dehydration. Therefore, the male's seasonal governance will be prolonged. When it strikes the water surface, splash water droplets onto the leaves to keep the fish eggs moist. Such an action? This will continue until the fish eggs hatch. Abdominal muscles are a small group with only 38 types, but it is highly recognizable. His abs are shaped like an axe. The broad pectoral fins curve upwards, like a flying fish. The hidden pieces usually move on the water surface. What if the enemy attacks from below? They will use the upward-facing instruments to avoid this attack. Many people take it for granted that the etiquette of playing chess is. It can glide through the air for long distances like a flying fish. It's out of the question. The ritual of playing chess does not actually involve gliding. They just jumped out of the water. However, special body shape. Indeed, in the abdomen. The leaping motion within the character cheat plays a crucial role. First of all, the axe-shaped body. It helps to quickly accelerate the flow of qi in the abdomen. Secondly, the elongated pectoral fins extend downwards during takeoff. This allows the fish to emerge from the water more quickly. After emerging from the water, the movement of abdominal muscles is a parabola. They can't jump very far. As for the remaining few, with large pieces of meat, it is a family composed of fish. They are all typical ambush-type cunning old foxes. The shape of the shuttle-woven lining shell. Natural reservoirs are among the barracuda species. The gluttony village can disguise itself as numbers beneath the water's surface. And the wolf-tooth weave shell. Without such camouflage, they rely more on terrain shielding. My son has buck teeth, which is commonly known as big buck teeth. It is the largest carnivorous fish. It has extremely long teeth. So much so, it is specifically necessary to cut an alveolar bone in the mouth. When you must press, everyone was like a sword being sheathed, so that it won't pierce the skull. Why is the head of the Crimson Village producing this? That's rather special. They are base fish. There are no blackfish in South America. Blood Red Village is the perfect blackfish of South America. They have sharp teeth and a long, stocky build. The blackfish has mottled camouflage. I also have mottled camouflage. Snakehead fish are tolerant of low oxygen levels. I am also tolerant of hypoxia. They surfaced when the water was low in oxygen. Gas exchange with standard. In 2017, scientists described the source from South America. The perfume pits of the Amazon basin, Worcester's father. Noah. It is the bedroom of Taruma. This is a new opportunity arising from the principles of flood control and water release. However, it is much smaller in size. These things that look like dung fish can breathe with fat. Tang, Giannius manybids only have two forms. The mark in the bedroom of Taruma. It's divided into 11 labels, like candied hawthorn skewers, extending from the back of the head all the way to above the breast flag. So much so that they can survive when the water dries up. Surviving amidst the fallen leaves of the gene-sure successful candidates in the highest imperial examinations. Besides that, the paper at that time, it also mentioned two major characteristics of Taroma itself. They have necks and can turn their heads. Where is their father? Able to point forward like a toad. These two characteristics are found in fish. These are all extremely rare. Chilean yamu. There are even two waves of forces in Africa. African Chilean family and stem-leaved family. The style of that interventionist style is somewhat similar to that of domestic works. However, its habits still align with its ambush-type nature. There are only 6 common types. And what about Chilean Africa? It includes at least 122 species, spanning the entire African continent. A wide variety of non-meaty. There are huge differences in ecological niches. They have just ordinary little fish in the water. Some are top hunters who dominate their respective regions. In the place where broken lines are common in the ornamental market, it is a small, non-fleshy plant. Its color is as vibrant as fruit candy. The journey of a strong giant dog. It is the world's largest governance. They are known as African Tigerfish. Body length exceeds 13 meters. Weight exceeding 50 kilograms. Almost at the top of the local food chain. Wanami. Ambush management methods other than piranhas are different. Dogs logic skilled at actively attacking and capturing prey, even among other smaller dogs. The same applies try to get killing machines. Audience records indicate the dog can weigh the liquid in the water, not a swallow flying in the air. In Japan, butterflies are called swallow cut, but the fish in the dog's mouth. It is very timid in the fish tank, easily fertilized and bumping around everywhere. Because there are many of them, they grow quickly, including dogs in Africa. South American giant fat science and original rulers, including science books, many medium and large-scale governance. These are important food sources for local residents. It is a very good fish for human consumption. Among the currently popular small freshwater ornamental fish, at least half of them are self-reliant. They are of extremely high importance. It has already gained widespread favor. Such comments as Neon Tetras were made about dengue. Now it has long entered thousands of households. Others who are self-reliant still command high prices. It is a representative of high-end small ornamental fish, such as silver horsefish, man-eating dog carp, and water wolf carp. These medium to large-sized carp are quite large, although the requirements for raising animals are relatively high. However, due to its distinctive shape, fierce personality, that still couldn't dampen the enthusiasm of aquarium enthusiasts. In the 130 million years of history, fragmentation is rapidly expanding in the southern hemisphere. Approximately every body of water within our reach, sphere of influence, even reaching as far as Europe and the Arabian Peninsula. In the new generation, such as Tasha's village, Shishini Ghost Village is the same as Guaji Village, African Village. This type of fish belongs to the family of fish in the city of Characidae. It once swam in the freshwater north of the Mediterranean Sea, and the Arab world belongs to Guaji Village. The village of Kanono is also located in Kenshin City and Central City. It briefly conquered the Arabian Peninsula between Asia and Africa. However, since the time of giving up, the rise of the Characiformes in the northern continent, emerging sciences. At its center, it expanded to the western part of the Eurasian continent. Gili encountered a tough opponent here, and they seemed clearly unable to fight them. Late Midwest, Europe. The governance of the Arabian Peninsula has almost completely disappeared. Science, one of the two major strongholds that had been thoroughly dealt with at this time. Africa today and Africa. The diversity of science-related travel has far surpassed that of governance. The distribution is also wider than the governance. At the distribution center of both, there are 134 kinds of things within the territory of the Republic of Congo. There are only 173 types of science subjects. STEM fields in Africa are gradually replacing traditional science, become one of the rulers of this continent. South America has long been isolated overseas. Scientific fish cannot cross the ocean to reach South America. Therefore, what is in the words here? The vast bodies of water in South America that stand out from the crowd. However, 300 years ago, North America and South America are bordered. Many animals from North America and flowed into South America along the road and bridge. This naturally includes scientific fish. Zilamo did not back down. Instead, they forged ahead against the current. Silver lychee directly reached Texas. This is because science is more prevalent in North America. Only Yarrow-Yuyako, a highly digitized branch. However, the science subjects they were facing included 22 disciplines, high-tech features. Until it can't be used up, the two sides naturally reached a stalemate. Of course, this is only at the current stage. Can the governance continue to move north? Will science ultimately be able to enter South America? Like in Africa, how can we completely integrate with governance? The territories of these two overlap. It is clearly in a dynamic process of change. Who do you think has more potential? We will never meet again in 3,000 years.